Hey guys, this is your girl Lisa B again, back with you for another edition of what? Jumpstart Monday. So before we get started, we always want to remind you, like, tag, share, invite somebody else into this space where we get our joke for the week, where we get our inspiration, our motivation, and of course that equals transformation when we get in action. So invite somebody else to the party. Today I want to talk to you guys about this thing called stretching. Now, stretching is a good thing. Now, I'm not talking about the exercise stretching. You know how we kind of move our body around before we get into that real deep exercise? No, I'm talking about the stretching that we have to have in our life. And so when I thought about that, a cartoon came to mind. Anybody familiar with that cartoon called The Incredibles? Okay, so there was a character there called Elastigirl. On the outside, she looked like just this common mom. Somebody that took care of her kids, went to a job, took care of her husband, just day to day, everything just looked ordinary. But when crisis arose, there was something that was on the inside of this woman that said, you know what? I've got to do my part to help rescue my family. I've got to do my part to help, to actually put them in a position so they won't be in a position of peril or hurt or harm. And so what she did is she began to expand herself or stretch herself. When the enemies came and she began to actually take her arms and put them out this far, and she said, oh my goodness, whatever is being thrown at me. I remember a specific incident where there was a big rock that was thrown at her. She had to expand herself. She had to stretch a little bit more in order to hold that rock, in order to keep it from harming her family. She understood that although she wasn't called on to stretch in one season of her life, there was another season that called for her to stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that you are in that season that you need to stretch. What is the benefit of stretching? It allows us to receive more. Now, I've probably talked about that before, but one of the things about it is that you still got to be willing to stretch, because God can give us opportunities. God can throw things at us, but if we're not stretched out enough, we won't be able to hold it, neither will we be able to maintain it. When I think about Elastigirl, there was not one thing that was thrown at her that she dropped. There was not one thing that was thrown at her that she didn't expand herself to a place where she could receive it, where she could handle it. This is what we have to do. And so we have to understand there are lessons even in cartoons. It's a good thing to be stretched. And so I want you to understand this. You have to recognize that you have something on the inside of you. That's the first thing. We're still talking about stretching. When you don't realize that you have something to work with, then when situations, opportunities, circumstances, doors open, tables present themselves for you to come and sit at, you won't know what to do. So you need to recognize what's on the inside of you. Elastigirl knew all along that there was something that was lying dormant on the inside. You've got to know you got something on the inside. The second thing is that you have to be willing to stretch. If you're not willing to stretch, then when the opportunity comes, and I like to talk about opportunities, then you're not going to enlarge yourself enough to walk in that door. The things that you have been praying for, the things that you've been asking for, those things that you've even encouraged other people to pray with you for, those opportunities are here. They're now. You have to see them. And when you don't see them and then you're not willing to stretch, then they won't happen for your life. So I need you to understand, stretching is a good thing. Anytime these things happen for you and something new is coming in your life, remind yourself of Elastigirl. She began to stretch herself so she could receive those things. She began to stretch herself so that she could handle those things. She began to stretch herself so that she could fight the battles. So I want to encourage you on today, be okay with stretching. Stretching is a good thing. Listen, this is your girl Lisa B. I'm the Life Changer, and this is Jumpstart Monday.